Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be filming a kind of brow routine slash brow grooming type video. I've been growing out my brows for quite some time now, long enough that I have no idea the last time I plucked them, but I've been saving them for this video so I can kind of show you guys how I kind of groom my brows and how I kind of fill them in. So I hope you guys don't mind that I'm going to be super up close and personal with my camera and this mirror. So without further ado, let's get started. So I don't have any makeup on my face right now because when I do my brows, I generally don't have makeup on my face. Like I said, I don't go to any salons or whatever, I just do it by myself. So this is kind of how I do it. The tweezers that I'm using are like really small. They're from Anastasia. And I think I got this in a Brow to Go kit a while ago. I'm not sure if these are still available, but I've been using it and they're really nice. I like how it has a little angle on it. I'm not sure if you can see it. The first thing that I generally do with my brows is brush them out. So I have a little spoolie here. This one is just from Sephora. You know, when you can like test out makeup at Sephora, these are just the spoolies from there, so they were completely free. I just grabbed a couple more. So I usually just like brushing my brows, and the first thing that I like doing is kind of cleaning up this under area over here. You can see I do have quite a lot of extra brow hairs, so I'm gonna start cleaning that up. Majority of the time when I'm in between kind of like brow grooming days, I just kind of like grooming underneath here because once this is clean, like your whole brow shape can change. The one thing I find really important when I'm doing my brows is to always kind of step back a little bit and look at your face as a whole first and then go back in, because sometimes if you're looking in a small mirror like this, then you can kind of get caught up with like the individual hairs, and if this one hair is like not in line with other ones, like once you pluck it you could get a little bald spot, which kind of depends on the brow. Also, you can over pluck easily, so I definitely recommend like getting up, going into like a bigger mirror like in your washroom or whatever, and kind of looking at your face as a whole. Alright, so now I have a general shape that I really like. I'm going to brush out my brow hairs again. A lot of people do this trick where they take like a pencil, this is just my Brow Wiz, and they kind of just line it up with their eye to kind of see like where their arch would be. If I go along here, if I'm looking straight and go right through the iris, this is where my arch should be, and then right over here at the corner of my eye, this is where the tail end of my brow should be, and I think I'm about there. Again, I really stress how important it is to stop and double check kind of what you're doing, or else you'll end up with no brows at all. Noticing that I do have a few like stragglers in here, but I want to do this brow first before I continue plucking this one, or else my arches won't be the same. Now what I generally like doing is doing the top. So sometimes what I do is like I kind of line up my tweezer and kind of show where I want my brow to stop, and to clean up that area. And I don't want a super defined line. I don't mind if there's like little like stragglers here and there, because I'm not trying to make like a perfect like rectangular brow. And if I have any sparse areas, I can always just fill them in. I just want my brows to look natural when I do have makeup on and when I don't have makeup on. So that is roughly how I do my brow on this side. Now I'm going to move on to this side, do the same thing, and then kind of go back in and kind of fine tune them a little bit. Again, I'm not completely precise with how I do my brows. I kind of just see what kind of suits my face a little bit, what kind of shape I like. But this also kind of depends on how you like to fill your brows as well. Because some people might prefer having lesser brow hairs so they can kind of draw them on. Other people prefer having more hair on the brows. It kind of just depends. So I'm going to go on to this one, clean up underneath, and go through the same process. So I have both my brows kind of roughly done. I've taken out all of the little extra pieces that I know for sure that I don't want. And now I'm kind of just going to compare my brows a little bit to kind of see where I can adjust things. Your brows are not supposed to look exactly the same. For example, these hairs on this side of my brow, they kind of lay flat and they're kind of like pointing that way a little bit, whereas these ones, they kind of point upwards. So I kind of just adjust my brows a little bit so they look somewhat even. So now I'm going to stop plucking a little bit, and now I'm going to move on to my next step, which is something that I really recommend for people, and that is trimming your brow hairs. I feel like a lot of people pluck their brows, but they don't really trim them, so I'm going to show you how I'd like to do mine. I take the same spoolie that I have been using to brush my brows, and I kind of brush my hairs upwards, and wherever your brow hair kind of goes above like your initial brow line that you plucked here, then you trim that a little bit. And I just really like doing this because it makes my brows look a little bit more polished, and I don't, again, need to use too much brow product. I'm just going to brush my brow hairs upwards and then just trim across. Obviously my brows do still look a little bit uneven because these brow hairs on this side are just a little bit more thick than this one. I think it has to do with like how I sleep at night. So now I'm going to put on my makeup and kind of show you how I fill them in. Alright, so I put on my makeup. I'm not sure if I like it, but that's okay. The whole point is doing my brows. So now I'm going to show you guys how I like filling them in. I would normally do this step that I'm about to show you before I put on my foundation, but I already did it. So I have another spoolie, another one from Sephora, and then I have here my Pears Soap. This is like a translucent soap that I like putting in my brows. It kind of acts as a brow gel before I put on whatever product that I have. It's really important to be using a translucent soap and not like a green or a white one, because it's going to leave residue on your brows. So I wet this a little bit underneath the tap, and I'm just going to rub my spoolie in it until I get some little white suds. So now that I have the suds on my spoolie, I'm just going to run this through my brows, and I'm kind of brushing my brows upwards because that's how I generally like my brows to be. And then when I finish that, I'm just going to let it sit for a little bit. Make sure you don't have any like big suds on your brows or anything, because that's going to affect how your brow product goes on. So this is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, and I have this in the shade Ebony. Another reason why I wanted to film this video was because I'm almost out of this brow pencil. Like literally, like that's it. It's a little nub, and that's it. So I wanted to get up this video showing my brow routine, or else, I don't know. And I'm just going to draw in little brow hairs just like this. Just like flicking my wrist a little bit. Kind of filling it in where I need to. But I'm using a super light hand. I'm just trying to draw them in the way my natural hairs kind of are, you know? So I'm just following that direction. Just doing really light flicks. And I'm just going to do the exact same thing to my other side. So that is it for my brow grooming and brow routine. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informational for you guys. If you have any recommendations as to which brow pencil I should use next, then please do let me know. I'm looking for maybe cheaper alternatives. I also know that I really like using the finer tips rather than like the angled brow pencils. So if you guys have any recommendations, please leave them in the comments down below. I will leave all of my social media links down below, as well as all of my blog posts. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.
I'd rather you something close to me, left with something new, see through your hair.